Yes, Hickok 45, your internet shooting companion, coming to you from the beautiful hills and porch of Tennessee. Tennessee, the home, oh guess, of Paul B. Huff, Sergeant Paul B. Huff, a Medal of Honor winner from Cleveland, Tennessee. Somebody reminded me about that. So Paul B. Huff, Sergeant Paul B. Huff, won the Medal of Honor. Something worthy of mention, right? Yeah. So glad you're here in Tennessee with me. Maybe you won't get so many ticks up here on the porch. Maybe I won't either. This is what I need on top of everything else. Some little varmints trying to suck my blood out. That's just exactly what I need, right? So, yeah, it's a Sunday shoot around 299, and we're cranking right along towards 300. Didn't expect to be injured through this time, but that's, well, it's not okay, but you know, what do you do? What do you do? Things happen. And so I'm here, and as I thought, I'd see people on videos wondering, hey, you got your leg back in shape, right? No, not really. Come to the Sunday videos, and if you want a progress update, status update on that, you can't really see my leg, but it's in a big boot. I thought, from what they had told me, that once I got to the boot, that was kind of a goal out there, a milestone, that would mean I could put some weight on it once I got into a boot. But when I got to Vanderbilt, you know, I had the original surgery and everything at University of Cincinnati Medical Center I've talked about, and had the follow-up this week at Vanderbilt finally, 3 weeks later. And they seem really good in the orthopedics department. Dr. Rickard looked at it, and Obrinsky is going to perhaps down the road here. But so she kind of gave me a choice, cast or boot. And I thought, well, a boot? Am I ready for a boot? Does that mean I can put some weight on it? No, not at all. So it really is just like a cast, but something I could take off and maybe get in the shower more easily, that kind of thing. Hey, people just don't understand. I live out in the woods in Tennessee. We don't take showers. Does anybody do that? Well, so okay, I guess so. Yeah, same stability. I can't walk on it, so putting weight on it, so it doesn't really matter. Whatever you say. So that's what we got. We got a boot on it, but in fact, I was at Academy of Sports this morning. I ran into a couple of guys, viewers, looking over the ammo, and one of them had a fancy, fashionable boot on, like mine. Yeah. And but he was walking in his. He had a bad injury. Sounded like it was as bad, at least. In June, he had a surgery. He's still in a boot, but he's walking. Yeah, but anyway, so boots can mean different things, right? It doesn't mean it's about the snow in Tennessee here yet, and not in September. Just because I'm wearing a big boot. So, all right. I guess what I'm shooting. Yeah. Is there anything I need to tell you right away? I don't know, but this is a return of a classic, I guess you'd say. It is a newer version of a classic. Some of you might know if you can see it. I have a hard time doing my thumbnails here. I'll do something for a thumbnail, but this is a Model 10. You ever heard of one of those? 38 Special, Smith & Wesson, Model 10. I think they just came out recently. Had not been in existence until recently. Yeah, but now your definition of recently might be different from my definition of recently, because the first models came out of these in 1899, right? Yeah. Hand ejector, 38 hand ejector. Get it? Hand ejector, when we went to that. But yeah, so this is like a 15, or yeah, 10-15, and is the new no-lock models from Smith. Yeah, the new no-lock model. Thank goodness they quit putting the locks on new models. And that's what this is. It seems pretty nice. Those were my first shots. Since it wasn't as special as my Model 24, I did not wait until you were in the know that it was the first shots. But those were the first shots ever fired from this firearm, other than maybe test fired at the factory, and I had not fired it. And I hit some, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 out of the 6 maybe. So 38 Special, Model 10, pretty cool. They weren't called Model 10s in 1899 up until what, the late 1950s is when they started giving the revolvers model names. So this is cool. I got the Model 36 as well. Got these from Gallery of Guns, Davidson's Gallery of Guns. We get a guaranteed lifetime replacement on your firearms. You know, check them out. Always something going on there at Gallery of Guns. And I got this from them this past week. Actually, they came in while I was in the hospital, I think, in Cincinnati. But picked this up in the 36 and also a Model 19 Classic. And then the I haven't even held it yet, but the Shield X, yeah, I've got that in the house. So I'll bring it out maybe next Sunday and fire it some. So the 36 is cool as well. You know, the little snub nose, and it's just amazing the difference when you don't have a key lock on these things. It's like the old school firearms, and they have a nice finish, I have to say. Yeah, nice gun. I'll talk more about it. Also, want to thank Silencer Central for their support of the channel with those great Vanish suppressors. They had this past week their 20th anniversary. I was going to go. I was going to drive up there, and I ain't driving nowhere for a good while now. But I had to cancel out a lot of things. But we appreciate Silencer Central, and of course SDI, the Sonoran Desert Institute. Get yourself some learning, gunsmithing, all kinds of topics, drone technology, firearms technology. And then, of course, my favorite little holsters, my Kydex friends, my Kydex holster making friends, Alabama holster. I got something else I want to say about that too. But yeah, speaking of that, the little Kydex holsters, I got my phone holster on. I mentioned this somewhere, Sunday video. Yeah, I got my pocket holster. My body didn't make it through the motorcycle wreck. My glasses didn't. These are some old backups, and yeah, they really badly need replacing. I got to do something about that. Had brand new frames just like these. They were essentially new condition and everything, and they got all busted up, just like me in the in the chaos. But the holsters didn't. My phone was in perfect shape in my phone holster. In fact, I called my wife from the ambulance on the way to Cincinnati to the hospital, and my pocket holster, was fine. I had the presence of mind to hand that to a friend there at the scene of the accident, and something to think about. Things you carry. Firearms especially, of course, but let people, I guess, that are traveling with you, know about that sort of thing, and that something might need to be made safe, and it's already safe if it's in a holster, right? A proper holster and everything. But you just hope that everybody on the scene, you might be knocked unconscious in some situation, have a health issue where you just fall over and you're unconscious for a while, right? A couple of days. Well, you got a loaded firearm on you or something, hopefully people, and I think probably these days, since so many people have carry permits or not, and carry legally, of course, and illegally in the world, that EMT people and hospital personnel and everybody, police on the scene, whatever, it's not like you're some kind of felon because you have a handgun. Almost everybody has a handgun, but I'm sure they check for that kind of thing, and hopefully they know enough about firearms to be safe with it, and not just sort of grab, I hit a gun, wonder how it works, put their finger on the trigger and all that kind of thing. But something to think about. But yeah, my schedule definitely has undergone some editing, especially after this visit to the orthopedic doctor, Vanderbilt, because it was going to be about 6 weeks before I could put weight on it. and now she's saying it's probably more like 8. So it's already gone 3. So I've got 5 weeks probably at least, and we know there won't be any improvement in getting around. You know, from the first 2 days of the accident, really, and now, other than there's not quite as much pain now. I cannot put weight on it. So I got all the same obstacles. Many of you have been through it because you've told me about it, and some of you through much worse things. And again, I don't mean to seem to think or imply that the worst thing of all time has befallen me, because hopefully it's temporary. Even though it's going to go months and months, maybe a year, I don't know, before I'm back, 100%. But as far as getting up, walking around, and doing videos and that kind of thing, just hopefully a couple of months, that sort of thing. But yeah, it's just so incredibly inconvenient, more so than I remember. I had a really bad sprain playing basketball in college. I had a worse one when I got out of school. I was playing on an independent team out in Franklin, Tennessee, in that area, and oh man, did I reckon it hurts to even think about it. And it didn't break it. It just stretched and ripped the tendons and all that kind of thing. And it was the worst I'd ever had, and the most painful. And I remember I was in too much pain to not have it even lifted. I remember above my body and all that kind of thing. So that's my only experience with it. It's been a long time. That was like mid-70s or something. But it's just so incredibly inconvenient. You just can't walk at all. You have to hop and try to use a crutch or a rubber crutch or something. My scooter, you can see my little, there's the handlebars. Yeah, went out today. I'm a day or two early. It's not Sunday morning, as you all know. It's Friday or Saturday, and I don't get out, and it's just kind of a hassle to get to the car and get in, go somewhere and get out. And my wife is get my scooter out the back and all that kind of thing. But we do it. She's happy to do it. She'd take me out every day. In fact, she encourages me to do that. And I probably do it every couple of days. It's probably good for me, even if in a way, it frustrates you even more because. We went to Academy Sports, like I said, because I wanted to get some more earplugs and some, maybe some slugs. So I don't know. Can't get to where I need to dig them out. So shotgun slugs. So I was just going to buy some, but they didn't seem to have any. But so I went there and looked around a little bit. Ran into some viewers. There's 3 viewers in there, and so it's good to get out. And I guess and the little scooter does really well. And I'll get better at the, well, I guess managing it. It's just a matter of someone has to get it out for me and all that. That's what I've always said. If you really end up disabled, hopefully you have the resources. And I've told my wife that you outlive me and you just can't get anywhere without a wheelchair or whatever it is. You make sure you buy one of those really nice vans. It's got the lift and opens up, push a button or whatever, and it comes down, and you just take your wheelchair up onto it, it around, and I mean, it looks easier, I'm sure, than it probably is. And you go right back into the driver's seat and drive away, and so you're not limited, and because that's what I would do. Get the most you can out of life, even though you may not be able to walk or whatever the situation could be, if the technology is there to solve that to some extent, and you have the resources to purchase it. So anyway, I've told her you need to because she's cheap. You got to watch her. She would stay home just rather than spend the money on it, even though we could afford it. So I'm getting off topic. Can you imagine it? Say maybe I'm getting back to normal. I'm getting off topic. What else do you want to know about? I'm going to shoot again, can I? So those were the only 6 shots that I know of that's been fired. Yeah, these are pretty neat. The Model 10, that's the thing I was going to mention, came across my mind. As I've pointed out many times, Magnums are fun and all that, but it's hard to beat a K-frame revolver, size revolver, whether it's a Taurus or Smith or whoever, and a 38 Special. Just hard to beat. Really is. Or if you have a 357 Magnum, it's just as much fun, I think, shooting 38 special. So, I don't know if I can tell where to hold. I got my chair angle a little bit better this time. I'm still going to shoot one hand probably, or maybe not. Let's see. All right. Okay, it's going a little bit high on that red plate. I got it. I am shooting downward, and that has a tendency to cause your bullet to go high. Yeah. Y'all that shoot know that, hunt and everything, you're aware of that. I don't know if this is enough. It probably is enough to have some effect on it, but I don't know where to hold anyway for the sights. Yeah, those are cool. It works. Double action is not bad. It's a little, I don't know if I'd want to go compete in matches. I don't know, maybe smoothen up a little bit. Yeah, I'm glad Smith is doing that. That is great. Appreciate Davidson's gallery guns, getting those to us, and be doing videos with them. No, wait a minute. This is a video. Well, not really a gun review video, if we even do that, right? So what else do you want to know about? Don't forget about Silencer Central again, paying the tax stamps through the end of the year on almost everything. Anything else I made a note about? I was watching some westerns. Try not to watch too much news. So much going on. I like to keep up with what's going on, but I turned over to the westerns when I've had about my limit on it, and I noticed that Wanted Dead or Alive with Steve McQueen is back on the Stars Westerns channel. So that's a pretty good series. Not bad at all. Steve McQueen's good. He's always good in anything he ever did, and but it's always so funny. I've talked about this before, I think. Hollywood and their gun stuff. They got Steve McQueen, for those who don't know, haven't heard me talk about it yet. He's carrying a sawed-off Model 92 Winchester, right? The stock sawed off and the barrel. I guess you'd call it a mare's leg, whatever. But and I don't know what the largest chambering those things were ever in. 4440, I guess, as far as diameter of bullet. 44. I can't think of any 45 they were ever chambered. Now some new ones might be, but I mean in the day, the original Winchesters, 4440 was probably the biggest caliber. I don't know about the most powerful caliber, probably, but it's the biggest caliber. You know what a 4440 bullet looks like? It's, looks like a 45 Colt, and it's just a little bit fatter than one of these, about the same length, right? But what does Steve McQueen have in his gun belt? About 15 big, sexy 45-70 rounds. And they are 45-70 rounds. So he's not as well armed as he thinks he is, or as he appears to be, because none of all of them heavy bullets he's carrying around are going to work in his little Model 92 Winchester. Yeah, I hope he knows that, if he really runs into trouble and actually needs a firearm on the set. But I'm always reminded of that. But it is a cool looking rig, and that's the number one priority with a Hollywood movie, Western, right? It's got to look cool. And you can't fault them for that. Almost everybody does it. John Wayne has some cool holsters and guns, and Tom Selleck might lead the pack. Think of all the Westerns Tom Selleck has done. And whether it's a Sharps rifle or his Schofields, and he's a gun collector. He's a gun guy, and I think a lot of the guns he has actually used in movies were his own originals and that sort of thing. And so that's just what you do. You want some really cool gun because it's one of the characters really in a movie or in a series in a lot of ways, like. Slipped my mind. Go ahead, Dirty Harry. Yeah, I'm gonna say like Dirty Harry. That 44 Magnum. That's why they put a 44 Magnum in his hand, just to differentiate him from all the other detectives, right? And so it's just part of the genre. Just what you do. I quite a few, I guess, Western cowboy heroes. Maybe they had just a standard Colt single action. The deer was out here walking around again a minute ago. But usually there's something a little bit like the Lone Ranger, where there's nickel-plated Colts and silver bullets. There's Wyatt Earp. They tried to put the long barrel button line, in some of the series in his holster, which there's no evidence he even ever owned one. All that. Certainly wouldn't have carried one. But it just makes for a better show, better look, right? So anyway, oh well. Let me shoot this thing again. Yeah. You ever watch me now? I may talk too much since this is the only videos I'm doing right now, the Sunday videos. They may end up 2 hours. Yeah, it's 2 hours of moronic talk instead of just 40 minutes. So, gotta watch myself. All right, let's shoot something else here. I don't know if y'all can see him down there. So he's down there chewing on the leaves. I think you can see him just beyond the burn barrel. So I'm gonna shoot over on the hill. I may not hit anything, but I'm gonna shoot over there. Whoop! Oh, there he goes. I don't know what prompted that. He normally doesn't rack, so he's off the range now. All right. I'm tempted to shoot those 2 liters on the shooting table, but I don't want to put holes in my shooting table. Yeah. Yep, there he goes around the house. Okay. So I'm shooting a little bit high if I'm not careful. I'm gonna see if I hit one of the limbs on the shooting tree, the top one. This will be a challenge for me up here. I think I'm probably still going high. Oh yeah, I was holding not low enough. Okay, got it. Not enough energy to knock it around. Let's look at that plate down there. I think that's a drop plate. I think I'm empty, right? Well, I don't know. I think that thing is set so it'll slide down the pole if I hit it, right? Good old 38 special. So, anyway, a couple of words. You expect a little bit of advice, don't you, from me? We won't get political, but a lot of talk this week and last week about the young men. And there was an article in the Wall Street Journal or Washington Post or something about our lost boys, that kind of thing. A lot's been written about that, in recent years. How young men, just so many of them are nihilistic and they're just kind of drifting with no purpose and dropping out of society and all that kind of thing, and consequently easily influenced, radicalized. There's no bearings, and not sure what they're going to do, where they're going, and and whatever the cause is, parenting, society, social media, and all that stuff. Is partly guilty, I guess, but I don't know. I hate it. I hate it because if you're older, like you and I, we guys, it's a miracle any of us gets through teenage years anyway, right? And even through our 20s. And maybe our 70s. I keep breaking by. We never grow up. We remain pretty dumb our whole lives, right? Doing stupid things. But I really hate it for young people. The society is so strange. It is so strange. And, you encounter not everybody, but a lot of young people, whether they're working in a market or whatever they're doing, and they don't seem to have any. Some of them, communication skills. Can't even seem to perform the smallest cordial small talk or whatever, and I don't know. It's just a lot of zombie looks, in young people. Not all of them, that's for certain, but there's a big percentage that they do seem kind of lost, right? And that's what's scary. Easily influenced, getting with the wrong group in a some kind of weird circle of friends or on the internet especially, and they don't have much going, not much to hang on to, not sure what they're going to do with their lives. They're barely hanging on, and here's a group that seems to love them. Here's some people that seem to value them and have a purpose for them. And of course, that purpose could be, really evil, an evil purpose. So they're prepped to be radicalized. And so it's kind of a scary situation. I just, again, I think I said last week or some other week that people who have something going on, they're doing something, they're not likely as susceptible to being brainwashed by other idiots. People with an agenda, some kind of weird ideology that's very unhealthy. If kids that have something going, young people or old people, anybody, you got something going. Again, if they're playing sports, and they're really taking their academics seriously, or they go hunting, they go boating, they love skiing, they just do a lot of stuff. They got hobbies. Maybe it's just something as simple as coin collecting they get excited about, or they're in the Scouts, or they like working on old cars. Maybe dad has an old car that the teenage boy or 20-something-year-old son is helping fix it up, or they just have something they're kind of messing with. I think that's a big factor. I've always been, I guess, I never really grown up, and I've always had something like that to help keep me from getting radicalized. But just something I was interested in doing. Played sports for a long time, enjoyed the country, living on a farm, and all that kind of thing, and shooting, and then collecting guns, and I've been into a lot of stuff, and I just I don't know. I think a lot of people don't have something that kind of turns them on. It pushes the button for them and keeps them from, being sucked into some weird stuff, or these other nihilistic acquaintances that they might, meet either online or not. They're just not drawn to them because that's, they're more likely to have an attitude like, okay, buddy, I don't know what's wrong with you, but you seem a little weird. I don't know that I need to hang out with you very much. I've got some things to do. Going skiing this weekend, or getting ready to do something. Go climbing. You go hiking in the mountains. Go bicycling. Anything. Well, I don't. There's so many things you could do and enjoy doing. If you got two legs and two arms and you can get around, there's just so many things that can occupy a person and that are fun to do, to learn to do. Archery, shooting, whatever the heck it is. But anyway, I think that's a lot of it. I really do. The internet is a strange place. Can I shoot this again? And it really is unhealthy. And I'm glad that there's so much emphasis on that lately too. I have a 9-year-old grandson. There's just a lot of young people out there just now entering that area, that age, where they're beginning to use phones and social media, more and more. And parents really need to treat that as an unhealthy thing, really. Just like sugar. It's like Oxy Cotton or something like that. Okay, let's take a shot here. I don't know that the cowboy has had his share of lead yet. I think I hit the cowboy. All right. All right, got him. All right. Well, went high on that one. Got him that time. I'm just going to shoot the burn barrel for general principle. Yeah. I haven't shot the burn barrel in a long time, and I'm used to shooting the burn barrel at least once a week, right, with something. So 38 Special is fun. It really is. I really enjoyed last week shooting my my Model 24 Smith 44 Special. I mean, I'm so bad. I really wanted to get it out again this week and shoot some more because you know. So don't be amazed if it shows up or something like it again. And again on a Sunday, probably if you went back through all 299 Sunday shoot arounds or shoots around, plural, shoot arounds, I'd probably pull out a revolver or lever gun or bolt gun in most of them, but not all. I don't know, just when it's a gun you're pulling out to enjoy. For me, it ends up being something like this. Now these are new and I wanted to try them out, but also they're revolvers. They're my favorite firearms. So I have an excuse. Oh, I don't really want to shoot this Model 10 Smith & Wesson, but you know, it's a new gun. We're going to do a review of it and compare it with the old Model 10s, et cetera, et cetera. So I need to be firing it. I need to bring it out here and take some shots, right? So, yep, pretty nice. Pretty nice. Do I have any advice for young people? I think I just gave it, but I do have a piece of advice for young people. Here's my advice for young people and everybody, anybody. Again, I don't want to get political, but I hope you've noticed that pretty much the only fascists, Nazis, and racists in this country are the very people calling others fascists, Nazis, and racists. That would sink in. It's called projection, right? So that's my advice to young people. Keep that in mind. All I have to do is hear somebody use one of those words and it tells me, yep, don't want anything to do with them. All right, probably. Yeah, good chance of that. What else anything else you want to know about? Yeah, I guess I talked about it. Let me shoot 6 more rounds, and I guess I need to let you go. I feel like I need to do a 2-hour Sunday shoot around since this is it for the week. I want to get in position maybe next Sunday, I don't know. From the swing up there, I can see the gong. And I don't know, I'm not sure how I can let you all see it, but it would be fun to shoot from that swing at the gong while I'm doing the Sunday, talk around, shoot around. Maybe you don't need to see the gong. You're not going to see it up close anyway, or you'll hear it, I think, if I hit it. So I might pick a gun next week and that I think I can maybe hit the gong with. It's 80 yards from down there at the shooting table. What we figure up there at the swing, other end of the house, it's, I don't know, 110, 20, 115 yards or something, I don't know. Not that it's a big gong, but sitting in the swing, I should be able to hit it with something. And you'll know if I'm lying because it makes a pretty good ring. I think you'll be able to hear it. You'll hear me miss it. Okay? With a few more of the leaves are off. See, I was going to trim that with my shot. I can't even get down there and trim that growth there. I could have a clear path to the gong here. All right, such is life. First world problems, right? Okay. What else can I complain about? All right, 6 rounds, 6 misses. I did have some misses. Double action, a little bit rough. Not horrible, but a little rough. All right. If you don't know what a Model 10 is, look it up. Been around forever. Hand ejector, they were called the 38 hand ejector. The early Smiths, had they were always known in their double action firearms especially, but even single actions, as having that top break, like a Schofield, Smith, Wesson number 3s and all those. And then when they went to the hand ejector, so you had to use your hand to eject it. Those firearms would actually, those earlier ones, would eject the rounds when you broke it. You know how my Schofield is. You pop it open, they fly out, right? But with these, you have to do it by hand. It's not automatic. So it sounds like a step back in design, but it's really not, because this is a stronger firearm. You've got the solid frame. You know, to have that top break, you got to break in the frame there. And this is stronger, and yeah, they work better. Not as cool. There's a real cool factor with those top brakes, I admit, but by and large, this is a better design. Yeah, just pop them out, eject them with your hand. That's what you do with this hand ejector. Yep, Model 10. Whew. Talk about some history. How many years is that? 99. Wow, 126 years, something like that. That's cool. And then the 38 Special. Yeah, same thing. Well, it came about in 1907, right? Yeah. Am I drawing a blank on my cartridge history? So it's very old and fun to shoot, no doubt about it. So I've enjoyed you coming out to the porch with me. I normally don't let you get this close to the house, but I don't have much choice. Yeah, this week, this month, because I have to stay close to the house. If I have to hang out in the house on the porch, you just have to do it with me. But I appreciate your support, and as I said, we got a lot done this summer, and got a lot of cool videos, cool guns going up every Tuesday and Friday and Sunday. Okay, maybe more. So at least on those days, we won't miss a beat. And I plan to be out here every Sunday morning. And so get your coffee ready, and get at it. Get ready to hear a couple shots fired and a bunch of stupid comments, really, thrown at you, from me. So I'll be about trying to get my leg healed best I can. I keep it propped up most of the time, and maybe I can show you the X-rays. It's funny, we saw the X-rays, of course, this week. I got a picture, and maybe I can hold it up here for now. But yeah, the pins and plates, yeah, really sweet, really sweet. Oh yeah, there we go. You see that? And in some ways, my toes are worse. My foot, I broke a couple of metatarsals, and they're really jagged breaks, and they didn't really pin those. They said they'll heal, but they're scary looking the way they're broken. But this is from the front, I guess. So all the part that shows up so clearly are plates, titanium. I don't know if you can see that, but this titanium and all that good stuff. So might make it a little difficult to get through a metal detector at times, but that's okay. We'll think, you got an ankle holster. That guy's got a gun on his ankle. Got an ankle holster. So, yeah, man, they put the screws in there. So, and the folks at Vanderbilt said it looked good to them. They said the guy who did the surgery at University of Cincinnati, basically medical center, is a legend. Dr. Archdeacon's a legend in the field. So good to know that I got to some good people through no doings of my own. Just that's where the EMTs took me. They thought I probably had some serious stuff going on, and took me to Cincinnati over there across the river, and so hopefully it will heal properly, and I'll be back to normal in a couple of months. Yeah, of course, normal for me ain't all that good, right? Normal. But I'm sorry, they didn't do anything for my brain. There was no surgery on my brain. I asked them about it, if there's anything they could do to enhance my brain power, anything. Maybe one of those titanium screws, just anything with a battery pack or something. Nah, they said they really couldn't, and insurance wouldn't cover it since my brain wasn't damaged. So, or else they might have tried something like that. So, I'll quit being foolish and let you go. I'll just sit here a while, sniff the gunpowder, because I don't get to sniff much of it lately. Yeah, 38 special. Pretty special. Appreciate your support. Appreciate you coming out. And I'll see you on Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday every week. And right here next Sunday. Life is good.